Hello, America. This is Keita Williams with the Effect Media. I'm here with Dr. Charles Steele and
Bill Cannon.
and Mr. Bill Cannon. The press conference regarding the alleged case against Representative Tyrone Brooks has just taken place here in the office of former Governor Roy Barnes, who is now practicing attorney. Dr. Steele, what was your impression of the press conference? If you could recap for us the press conference.
Well, first of all, I think Governor Barnes did an outstanding job. I mean, just dealt with the situation as it is. And many times people don't understand realistically what issue is all about. And what we're saying is that it is justifiable to some concerns that Attorney Barnes brought out in regards to this case. Where most people just read the headline and they don't understand that this man has a history of helping folks.
Yes.
And it was all about helping folks and what he was doing.
And for how many years has Representative Brooks been helping people in the community as a legislator? What other types of roles has
Yeah, he's been with Dr. King since 15 years of age in the movement. And he's been, as Bill was saying earlier, probably 12 or 13 prior to that, doing things in the community. But he's been directly involved with the SCLC and Movement of Freedom with Dr. King and Reverend Jose Williams, Ralph Abernathy, late Dr. Abernathy, and all the others, including Joe Laurie and myself, who's President Emeritus CEO of SCLC. He's been there for all his life, doing what he can to liberate our people. And this is something that he was doing, and it was explained by Governor Barnes, and we're not going to get into all of the details, but research it for yourself by reading the news and reading the documentation and the filing of Governor Barnes in terms of this particular case and his response. This is what people must understand. Anybody can accuse you. But is there an intent? Anybody who knows Representative Tyrone Brooks knows he's a good man. Know he's a man about justice and equality. And I just thank God that I know him, because in the end, he will be exonerated and he will be set free, like we all are trying to pursue every day. But let me close with this. If we allow State Representative Tyrone Brooks, freedom fighter as he is, if we allow this man to come into a system of prejudice, a system of discrimination, a system of opposition to freedom, to the civil rights movement, and opposition to people who stood for what's right, like Dr. King and others. They were killed in terms of their freedom aspect and vision to liberate all God's children. If we let a man like this go under without us supporting him, then we all are destined to be a sign of plantation. That's where we're headed.
Yeah,
thank God for Tyrone Brooks, because we're going to support him.
Yes, yes. Thank you so much for taking the time, Dr. Steele. And Mr. Cannon?
Yes, ma'am.
Any reflections of the press conference on the case?
I think that Dr. Steele said most of what needed to be said. I'll just add this, that Tyrone really is part of the new era that picked up with Dr. King and Dr. Abernathy and Reverend Jose Williams, where their lives ended. Tyrone kept the march going. And he has continued to fight for folks all across the state and the country. It's hard to put your hands on him because he's always moving. He's always going to help someone. That song that the sister sang about you better call Tyrone, that's what people do. They call Tyrone. When somebody's in trouble, somebody got a problem. When the Equipment 10 were denied their seats down in Equipment, Georgia, they were denied their seat, put in jail erroneously. They called Tyrone. And Tyrone has brought people like Reverend Steele and myself and thousands of others to go and to help those people and let them know that there are people who support. He's done that all across the state. Everywhere he goes, people calling him all over the country. And he responds. He responds with whatever God gives him. Now, whatever technical matters that may be. I think Governor Barnes, who is an outstanding attorney, handled the press conference superbly.
Yes.
And those matters will be vetted out in the legal system.
Steele.
He did an excellent job
Steele.
of making the definitions clear about civil versus criminal.
Mr. Cannon, let me ask you this. What type of statement does it make that the prior governor, the former governor of Georgia, has not only decided to represent Mr. Brooks, but has done so without a fee?
Well, I think you'd have to know their history.
Thank you so much. Oh, yes.
They have been friends and colleagues in the Georgia legislature for decades. And the governor knows the work, the thankless work, the work that he's done without pay, knowing how it's imposed on his family while he's been on the road where others are comfortable at home. He's been up and down roads. He's known that. He's been there with him. And Tyrone has been with Roy Barnes when he ran for office and when he worked hard to make sure that the right people were put either elected into positions. He was there. They were there, and they helped change the flag together, and so many other things that people said.
And when you say change the flag, for people that may not be familiar with Georgia,
we had a Confederate flag that flew above the state of Georgia, all over the state. It was an embarrassment. It was a disgrace. And few thought it could be done, that it could be changed. But Tyrone persevered, and he would not let go. We call him the ever-ready bunny because he just keeps on going. And then he keeps on working, and he keeps on giving. And for a person who has given so much of himself, to attack him in this way is suspect. It says that there is some type of motivation behind this that's not legitimate, that is hidden, and it needs to come out. And I'm sure God's grace will allow it to come out.
thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining us today.
My pleasure.